Something different on the channel today, playing the original Monster Jam Steel Titans, and I did discover something quite interesting. Yes, this game is an arcade game, it's intended for younger kids, but you can drive it in a realistic fashion and still win freestyle events on the highest difficulty. Which, does that make this game a simulator? It might. We're going to go to the Monster Jam training facility using Camden Murphy's Bakugan Dragonoid truck. It's technically a 2008 Ford F-150, as all these trucks are built on Ford F-150 cap dimensions, hence the video title. Anyways, you're intended to drive freestyle in this game by just getting massive air, chaining multipliers together, picking up those little floating triangles which add to your multiplier. And with the game based on the MX vs ATV engine, you can do absolutely ridiculous shit because all of the trucks feel completely weightless, and there's a ton of in-air control that you just don't have in a real truck. That allows you to basically throw the truck around like a toy and do ridiculous shit like quadruple backflips or chain multiple slap wheelies together with basically no effort. I'm about to show you that you don't need to do any of this. The game's scoring system has actually been designed for multiple styles of play, including driving the game in a realistic fashion, not abusing the in-air flipping mechanics and just driving the truck as you would in a more serious monster truck simulator like Rigs of Rods or BeamNG, which is really, really impressive because it opens the door for a lot of people to check this game out when they had previously ignored it in favor of stuff like BeamNG. That being said, you can't totally escape the weird physics you saw right there. I skied across half the arena with basically no effort, and then as I go to enter a donut here, watch the truck like pop into place right there, just as I pick up the yellow triangle multiplier. There's a lot of hidden assists in this game when it comes to handling, so the player can't get too crossed up when they're using manual rear steer. There's also a two-wheel assist where if you get the truck onto two wheels, the truck will basically just hang there for ages without tipping over, which is really unrealistic, and sometimes you'll actually find you're going to end up fighting some of the handling assists, such as here where I crawl over those tires embedded into one of the ramps. The hidden driving aids mixed with some of the load issues the tires have, if you hit the ground in certain ways after a jump, the truck will just fly all over the place. Here's a good example. I steer out of a stoppie, and the truck like does this weird jolt to the right. You have to be very careful to kind of tiptoe around that stuff, because it'll just throw the truck in an uncontrollable flip, which is really hilarious but just looks really sad and makes me think that they never got the physics issues quite ironed out with this game and basically just said, fuck it, let's ship it. But regardless, this run is pretty clean, haven't touched the bodywork at all, and basically just hitting jumps and keeping the multiplier going. You'll see coming up here the hidden two-wheel assist taking over as I kind of go over the set of ramps at an awkward angle. The truck like rocks back and forth and I have to stab the brakes to get out of it, which in real life the trucks have a lot lower center of gravity and don't kind of wibble wobble like that in real life. So when driving this game, that's just something you have to be mindful of, is that it's really easy to roll the truck, like really, really easy, like almost uncharacteristically easy compared to the real thing, to the point where I actually think this game is more difficult to drive than BeamNG or Roar, which would kind of make this the monster truck equivalent to iRacing, where you're constantly kind of like tiptoeing around the arena. Anyways, that ended up being a perfect 10 score. Again, you don't have to flip the truck or do like a quadruple backflip. I never did a backflip during this run. And not only did I score a perfect 10, I hit all of the points thresholds. So, like, that was considered by the game a perfect run, and I didn't have to, like, just flail around the arena wildly. I could drive it kind of realistic, and it worked.